And with that, we are live. What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Mex, here today for day 2 of the Collective Playoff Esports. With me today, you probably know him well, good friend of mine and a very good host in the Collective family, Skinny. What's going on, Skinny?
What up, guys? Been a while since I've actually properly co-hosted, so it's nice to be back to where I started. But, yeah. Definitely looking forward to the games.
Without a doubt, and as I get everybody in here, today the first map is going to be Villa. Now, usually if you guys haven't been caught up, or if you guys haven't been, I guess, in the loop of how we do things here, or how, I guess, Collective Esports works in general, we do a best of 3 maps. Meaning that we are going to have 3 different map ups today. Best of... I'm trying to type and speak at the same time. But basically, on the first map, DBX is going to be defending on Villa, taking F6 there first. What do you think the bans are going to be?
For a map like Villa, there's a lot of options, I feel. Certainly a popular one that you'll see is Jackal ban, just because of how expansive the map is, given that that bottom floor is just Roamer's Paradise. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that go. Vertical destruction can play a huge role in the map as well, seeing that all the floors are soft, if you were unaware, for the most part. So a buck or a sledge, possibly. A buck would be more efficient, but a sledge as well. And then another one that I feel is very underutilized as far as attackers go is Maverick. You don't see him banned a whole lot on here, but you also don't see him utilized. And Maverick on a map like Villa is, simply put, scary. So any of those I could see, and then defense, sure, typical, same like 5-op bans, does nothing ever changes on the defense.
Well, I wouldn't actually be surprised to see a... Who am I trying to get on the tip of my tongue here? Of course, we have, the obvious plant denials, but a pulse from down below, or even a Valkyrie would be a smart ban on this map, seeing as most of the maps have a very wide wooden floor, or even just a huge gap in between sites you can throw a C4 up. So to have that taken off of the board, it'd be very nice in DBX's favor for the first 6 rounds.
Absolutely, and while we're on the topic of just everything regarding Villa, DBX starting on defense here, it's in their favor to win as many rounds as they can on the defense, because Villa is first, if not second, most defender-sided map in Siege for the most part. It's debated between Villa and Clubhouse, so I don't know what she would throw over the other, but it's going to be crucial for DBX to get these early rounds just so they can make their second half easier, and then by comparison for F6, if they can split the draw, or if they can split the round half 3-3, that puts them at a very good starting for the remainder of the game. So it's a really interesting ebb and flow to how Villa works with round differentials, because, a 3-3, you can look at that and be like, oh yeah, that's a tie, but as defender side as Villa is, if you're not coming away with your defenses, you're just not winning.
Well, we have seen other, crazier things before. Perhaps they have something great to bring on attack. But again, as much as people like to say they love attack on this map, I can't help but agree with you on this. Villa is a very defensive map. Especially with some of the rooms like Kitchen from down below, with some of the rooms like Games, Aviators upstairs. I can't see this being an attack-sided map, so to be able to get that big of an advantage, I guess also it has to do with operator bans. Banning a Mira and banning a Maestro is very powerful on this map as well, but if they leave an operator like Mira in a map like Villa, it's going to be extremely difficult to try to take those defensive rounds. I'm really amped up to see how F6 is going to try to play this.
See, and that's funny that you say that, because I feel, in my opinion anyway, this is no one else's but my own, but after the nerf that Maestro has gotten, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're banning a Maestro over an Echo, in my opinion. Just because with how easy Maestro cameras are easy to dispose of now, all you're really left with is, you know, a great gun. And yeah, the Alda is a great gun, but just in terms of utility alone, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're picking a Maestro over an Echo. Then that's just how it is now. And
Oh,
then,
I couldn't agree more. The utility of the Echo is a lot more useful now ever since that nerf, but at the same time, like you said, the LMG, it is a good gun. Personally, I just think that ACOG with that many rounds downrange, it's just too deadly to leave on the playing field. However, seeing as his cameras aren't as, I want to say, as invincible as what they used to be, I can understand where you're coming from.
yeah. It's funny that you say that Mira would be a huge operator to have on the board, but I always say that because based on your criticisms of Mira on Coastline,
Mm.
it's the same kind of deal with Villa, because like I said before, all of the floors are very, or almost said very defender-sided. They're all soft destructible, so like I said before, if you bring like a buck on the board or even a jackal with that secondary shotgun, like you can do a lot of damage to any potential Mira setup. But to be fair, Villa isn't nearly as, how do I put it? I don't want to say thought out, but like discovered map in terms of just every possible angle. So finding the correct spots for everything is different, but certainly not impossible. But
And the Jackal is going to be the first operator taken off of the board. As you were saying, that is a smart ban, but then again, F6 is going to have to be careful for that roam game. Roaming on Villa is a very strong, decision to make, especially if they haven't studied their map well enough. And with Nomad being taken off of the board, that's also going to be the flank taken down. That was actually a choice by F6.
so, in a way, those first two bans, to me, read as DBS and F6 just countering each other, because no Jackal on the board promotes heavy roaming, and then, actually, no, I think about it, F6 might be shooting themselves in the foot with that. No Jackal on the board and no Nomad on the board is trying to promote a lot of heavy roaming, as Mira is a third ban here. So, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, to see a lot of Dekebi play come out on either team's side. If either team has a capable Dekebi player available to them, that's going to be huge for them, as Vigil will actually be the last ban, and that is for DBX. So, not the worst ban to take out. I mean, kind of counterintuitive to my statement of heavy roaming, but you know, there are plenty of operators that you can roam with. Vigil's not a be-all, end-all to your roam game, especially again on a map the size of Villa. There's plenty of alternatives.
It seems here that F6 is going to be preparing their bans a little bit more towards them getting on defense, whereas DBX is planning a little bit more towards their attack. Taking Vigil off like that when they're going to be the first ones on defense, I don't know if I agree. However, they do want to make sure they play safe. They want to make sure that they don't let F6 get to the defensive, but in case that they do, I understand why they have that Vigil taken off the board.
See, and here's the thing with the Vigil ban. I don't mean to cut you off, but with Vigil bans, it's a weird ban in the sense that you change up how like your roam game's gonna work, but it's not at all like hard to flex onto other operators. Like as you can see, DBX opting for a Jaeger and a Cav, oddly enough, which is curious considering that they just let the Cav pick out in the open. But yeah. Sorry, I stumbled over my words there for a sec, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. Tostada here, playing over in Master Bedroom, probably going to try to go for the spawn peak, perhaps? No, but she will be making her way. It looks like they're going to be switching up towards a downstairs play. Yeah. A little bit now over on the attacker side. We do have an IQ, very valuable operator. Not a lot of intel op, I gotta say, especially when an Echo and a Maestro is still in play. Not a lot of intel, you know, ops. Not a lot of plant denial. I wonder what they're trying to go for here.
And curious to see that both Echo and Maestro not being banned, and yet neither are brought out in this first round. This lineup is very heavily dedicated towards a heavy roam on the side of DBX. And the thing with heavy roam setups are you need the coordination for them to work, and especially when a map is expansive as Villa, it's easy to get your roamers isolated if the coordination isn't there. So we'll have to see how this roam game plays out for DBX, but
in the meantime, while you were saying that, DBX Monkey did get taken out by Flicks. That is going to be the first frag by F6, as now they're going to try to make a possible back push from 90 hallway off onto site.
Yeah, 90 control here as the vault wall does get open, and we're only halfway through the round. This is a very efficient take by F6 as they do take out their second kill for the round, putting them at a 5-3 man differential. This is a really efficient take, and that's what I was saying. You isolate those roamers quick enough and map control is yours, and on Villa of all maps, it's huge. However, DBX will begin to strike back with one, but S harder.
Seems like Tyrant's going to get that refrag on the Tyrant as C4 goes out. Plant is going down. Tries to get a wall bang, but doesn't connect as Flicks is going to get that final kill off onto Crisis and will take the first round for F6.
Yep. All in all, a really efficient take by F6, and like I said, I don't want to say the roam game was uncoordinated, but those roamers, they got isolated so very quickly by F6, and it really hurt DBX in that execute by F6. And what's curious to me is the Elo was playing on site, and like we said, Echo and Maestro both available. Maybe not the best use of operator choices on the side of DBX, but seeing as we are only one round in, it's not a huge deal.
It seems Monkey is going to be switching over that Echo play instead of the Jaeger. Smart to be bringing him in, especially now as they're going to be going to Living Room Library. Not a common choice by a lot of players. Surprised they weren't going to try to hold Aviator games once again, but looks like they're going to be switching it up here. I wonder what strats they're going to be bringing.
So,
not on the site at all.
Here's the thing with Living Room Library. So, it's not a unplayable site as some people might think. Like, it's certainly possible to defend this site, but as far as Villa sites go, it's definitely the least optimal to have, in my opinion, as it's so easy to just cut off that library entrance and then go for a quick plant, kind of like the service entrance on Coastline. But contrarily to that is, if you know how to defend it, it can be really powerful, especially because a lot of teams might not know how to attack it, seeing as, again, it's not a common site to go to. So, it's a interesting play by DBX. I'm really excited to see how it pans out for them.
First thing I'm starting to notice is the play from Tostada, who's going to be upstairs in games above site. If F6 doesn't take him out early on in the round, that could come to backfire. Flick's wasting no time making his way downstairs in the old office. I guess trying to clear out the basement.
I really like this clear by Flicks in particular, just because, like I said, basement, that's a team's really going down there to check, and the fact that they're clearing it out first is crucial because, again, on the site, like Living Room Library, it's such an easy site to isolate as the Echo will drop down into basement, play very aggressively, and will be the opening death for DBX. Curious decision making on their part, but that is not the operator you want to be losing, especially within your first minute of the round. So that's definitely going to come back to bite DBX back later if they cannot equalize man advantage here very quickly.
Yeah, Monkey being taken out yet again in the first 30 seconds of the round, playing just way too aggressive. Tostada's still upstairs, however, showing could be a threat with only a minute 30 left. Are they going to try to open up these walls? They will. Main hallway wall is going to be opened up by F6 Loopy. As now they're going to try to start making their way towards site. Ooh, Flix and Tostada. They're going to be going back and forth upstairs. How is Flix going to be able to push this? Shots try to go off as the plant is going down by Tyrant. Tostada making his way downstairs. Plant is down, so now they're going to have to try to push here. Damage is going to get that flick off on a Tostada. Very clean kill. Bacon is going to get that kill off on an Introvert. Deathstroke will get that refrag off on the Bacon, however, but he doesn't see Tyrant over in the corner. And now it's going to be all up to Crisis to try to get these final kills. He does get one off on the Loopy, but doesn't see Flix. And Flix is going to take out Crisis for yet another round on defense. DBX now 0-2. F6 just has 2 more rounds to be in an upper advantage here when they switch over to defense.
Yeah, again, really curious decision making on the side of DBX. One, that Echo playing as aggressively as he did, as early as he did not bode well for them. And on top of that, it's just, again, I can't even say the roam game was being isolated that round because Plant went down with 9 members still alive and with only like half of the round in. I worded that terribly, that's fine. But the Echo being your first pick off the board and being the only person off the board when the plant goes down, that speaks for itself, and that's not a situation that you want to put yourself into. There will be some adjustments on the side of DBX, though, as they will forfeit this Cav play in favor of a Pulse, which I'm happy to see. Definitely bringing a lot more utility on the board for their defenses and the roam game especially. So hopefully things will start to pan out better for them, for their sake.
Yeah, especially on a site like Stationary Trophy. Pulse is not a bad operator to have at all. A bunch of C4 is not a bad option to have at all. The only thing I'm interested in seeing is how they're going to hold off this master bedroom. Either they're probably going to either leave it alone, or they might possibly, and this is something that I've done before, what would be smart is to have a Pulse playing down here over in kitchen to try to get that C4 off onto the hard breach.
Absolutely. And it all kind of depends on how the team chooses to attack this site, because there's really 2 ways of going about attacking split site. It'll either be through that master bedroom, which you were pointing out before, or a lot of teams will like to do a study side push, so they'll clear out all study aviator games and then push from red into either of the sites, because it does grant them direct access to either side depending on how they want to attack it. But again, with this master side stage, ooh, that's a
Tyrant is going to get that first kill off on the DBX Introvert. That was a very unfortunate, yes.
And that's your Legion off the board too, and there's no way that there's more than at most 4 dew mines on the ground, so that's a lot of utility wasted already on the side of DBX here, and it's just gonna keep growing for them.
Bacon will get that kill off, as well as Tyrant getting Deathstroke. Tostada is gonna be the first one to take down anyone on F6. They're here, but doesn't. His damage takes down Crisis, and Bacon is gonna get that first kill off on the Tostada. That LMG play, just nasty, combined with that Finka. And yeah, that will be yet another round. DBX has got to try to change something up here. If not, it's looking like F6 is going to take this home. You said this was a defender-sided map. From the way it's looking, it's not. It's
definitely not being the case right now. And like I said before, F6 already taking 3 rounds on their attack. One, that means that they've won this half. That puts them in a good spot already for their second half. And with how efficiently they've taken these rounds, especially in that last round, that took a minute. Okay, that was a minute and the round was over. That puts F6 in the driver's seat for the rest of this game, and potentially even this best of 3. I would hope for DBX's sake that that's not the case, that they're able to bounce back, but with how this game is going so far, something definitely needs to change for them. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be a steamroll.
This is something that I do like, however, they're going to try to slow down F6, which isn't something we've really seen so far. Now they're bringing a cap can and a castle to the table. So it looks like they're just going to try anything in their power, really, to slow down this aggressive attack push.
Absolutely. And one thing that I like to point out from that last round is that was a beautiful utilization of the Finka and her utility. I don't know if you taught utility, I guess you would, but Finka can definitely adhere to a very aggressive, fast-paced playstyle, and F6, as you saw, took full advantage of that, again, taking the round in just over a minute, so props to, I believe it was damage on the Finka? I could be mistaken, but definitely props to that Finka play. It was very well coordinated on the part of S6, but here we have...
I believe that was actually Bacon on the Finka play and is now going to be playing Capitao, who seems like a guy who just likes his LMGs.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely... LMGs definitely have their demographic in collective. I am certainly not one of them. I don't know if you know, but I despise LMGs, even though you can still catch me playing Finka, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah,
well,
so personal preference.
If the LMG does help for them to have those extra bullets on the board, it seems like drones are going to be going out for F6 Flicks, as they're going to try to push their way off now onto the roamers. I believe that was Death. No, maybe Crisis. Ooh, Tostada is going to be the one. Oh, is the Pulse? Excuse me. Tostada is going to be the one to take down damage. And that's a very big pick. Flicks with the refrag, however, off onto Tostada. Makes off with not a lot of health.
So a
4v4.
1-for-1 trade, 1c4 off the board here for DBX. However, the opening pick onto the Thatcher is going to be huge for their later rounds, as I don't believe any of the Thatcher's utility was used. However, there's not much to get rid of on the side of DBX aside from the Captain Traps and the Mute Jammers, as the second kill will come out for F6 here, as the Castle taking that one. And just 1-for-1 back and forth trades here. Coming out from everyone. Flicks, unfortunately, in the wrong way, will be taken out by the smoke, and just bodies dropping like flies for F6 right now, as we're stuck in a 1v3 here in the favor of DBS for once. Tyrant on very minimal HP, is single take of damage will do the trick by any of the defenders of DBX here. And with only 30 seconds left, it's gonna have to be a frag fest for F6 here. Free Fire's coming out, not connecting, unfortunately for Tyrant. However, this is more or less an unwinnable situation. Even a Captain Trap will do it, and these Castle Barricades rather are not doing him any favors here.
Off. Very unfortunate for him. Does get the headshot on a Crisis, however, but he doesn't have enough health to take down Deathstroke, who is waiting for him for the run. And that's going to be the first defensive round for DBX. Congratulations to him. As now, yeah, let's see how they let's see them hold the other sites like that. And this is something I was trying to say before. Glad to see they're bringing in these operators to slow down that aggressive push by F6. Especially taking down damage, which is your Thatcher that early off into the round. Very good play by Tostada. So let's hopefully see them keep up that momentum for the later rounds.
Absolutely. And I know I was criticizing their roam play before, not so much for a heavy roam play, but just the lack of coordination. It seemed them deciding to fall to become as passive as they were in that round definitely paid off for them, because F6 had a lot of map control early on, but it didn't really benefit them at all. They did not utilize it to any extent, and outside of taking out your pulse early, not really a whole lot going on for F6 in that round. So great hold by DBX, and hopefully they can keep that momentum up as they are now on the board. And even if you've got 1 point, it's still a lot less demoralizing than not having anything. So see how they continue on.
They're not, sorry to cut you off. I'm just surprised Monkey isn't sticking with that castle play, seeing as how well it worked out for him last round. Mute is going to be replaced by the Legion from Crisis, and this is going to be the first Doc I've seen so far on the board. Glad to see that ACOG on drawback. Again, not a lot of plant denial, but they still do have the smoke just in case, so I guess that is better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the smoke be a consistent pitch for DBX as a smoke main myself, I guess you could say. Not really by choice, but that's just what happens when you're on teams. But, curious to see them go back to library, as, like we've harped on before, it's not a common site to go to at all, and to go to it twice, especially when split site is still available for you, it's different, and I personally like to see it a lot, as, again, I feel that if DBX can keep their man count up and not be susceptible to early picks, their defenses turn out to be a lot stronger, and you don't go to a site like Living Room Library if you don't know how to defend it, so...
Ooh, I like this dirty angle here by Introvert, but it looks like the first hard wall is going to be opened up. Ooh, but that angle wasn't enough, as Bacon is going to get that first pick off on the Introvert. As now they're going to try to push it on the site. Crisis getting that kill off on the Bacon. But Tyrant is going to get that kill off on the Tostada. The final three are holding down site here.
Halfway through the round here.
Do go out.
Halfway through the round here, and first smoke canister has been used, and utility back and forth on both teams really being dispensed here early on, as we're just over halfway through the round. And this is what I was saying, this is the downfall to this site, as you see how they got that library wall open so early. It's such an easy part of the site to isolate here, and F6 is aware of this. However, DBX is keen to hold it with their lives, as F6 has not attempted to go for a plant yet, and with only a minute left, all DBX needs to do is hold out here and stall, and it becomes very winnable for them.
Seems like shots are going out, as F6 is just trying anything they can right now with 30 seconds left to try to push their way into the site. Shots missed by Crisis, as Flix is going to get that C4 down, but Monkey does get that kill off on the Loopy. Damage will be the one to get that refrag, and that's going to be Flix taking down Crisis. Now it's going to be all up to Deathstroke to try to hold this down, as the plant does go out. Shots missed by the recoil of that SMG-11. Very unfortunate, as Flix is going to be the one to sneak around and get that headshot on the Deathstroke to take on to a 4-1. Now as we head off into round 6 and the last defensive round for DBX.
So that hold looked a lot better by DBX, but I have to commend the mid-round adaptations of F6. They got the library wall open early, they were trying to contest it, and they just couldn't make anything of it. So in that last minute, they decided to go instead for a living room take, and with minimal coverage on the living room, they were able to get man count in their favor and subsequently go for a plant. As you saw, all that was left 3v1 was the smoke of Deathstroke stuck all the way over in library, and your smoke rings aren't going to be useful if the plant's going down on the opposite site. So well played by F6, and this, like I said before, to win your attacking half on Villa is huge for the remainder of this map, at least for F6. So I don't know if DBX is going to be able to come back from this, honestly, just given how F6 on their attacks and subsequently how they've looked on their defenses, but they will decide to close out their first half of this map in Dining Room Kitchen. So DBX maybe not successful on their defenses so far, but yeah, I mean, at least they're trying, you know, going to every site, not a common occurrence you'll see whether you're winning or losing them. So nice to see the flexibility and seeing what works and what doesn't for them. Hopefully for their sake, they can end this split 2-4, but even then, that's a long slog to come back from.
It is a hard thing to come back from, but it is still able to be come back from. You got to remember, even though, yes, DBX does seem a little bit down right now, these teams are in the playoffs for a reason. Not to mention, hit or miss. F6 is a very powerful team. They've been a very strong team in their division, just like some of the other greats that are in there. So to be able to be holding themselves the way they are this far even is pretty well, as shots do go off, or at least attempt to go off, by F6 Flicks with no one on the other end to connect them to. Very fast push into sight, and again, no castle being brought on the board, no Legion this time as well. Nothing's going to be there to try to slow down this aggressive push. As Flicks now is going to try to shoot his way into sight. Monkey, however, is going to be trying to hold angles. Bacon will get that first kill off on the Introvert as Deathstroke is going to try to be getting these kills off on the Bacon. Toast, however, comes up from behind and takes down Tyrant. And with him still roaming the way that he is going to be showing, or at least proving, a threat to F6. Flicks now just slowly trying to peek up towards that kitchen door, not trying to get taken down by Tostada. As shots do go off, Flicks takes quite a bit of damage. And now they know where he's at. Bandit trick once again going on. Tostada, yet another kill off on the Loopy. Flicks trying to make his way up on the site. Isn't able to connect all those shots though, as Crisis will get the down. And now it's going to be a 2v4 with not a lot of time left on the clock, only a minute. They still do have the diffuser, but Hard Breach is down, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe that wall is open. It is not. Wall is still closed, as with very minimum health, they're going to try to push into sight. Damage deciding to lay down. And Crisis with yet another kill off on the Bacon. Damage is going to be the only person left to try to clutch his first team. But he does get the knife off on the Crisis. And Deathstroke will get that final kill. And does take the second defensive round for DBX, bringing them to a 4-2 onto attack.
So, as I was saying before, you know, F6 being in the driver's seat here, DBX not winning this half on their defenses. With how decisive that last round was, that should be a good momentum boost going into the second half, and hopefully they can almost restart their thought process and just look at it as a new game entirely, and hopefully come back from this round deficit that they find themselves at. Very unfortunate timing by the Bandit to attempt a Bandit trick on no Hard Breacher, but you know, it doesn't really matter, as the man count was all there for DBX, and really that whole round was just all Crisis and Deathstroke really holding down the fort for the team. So props to those two and all of DBX for at least taking something away from this first half.
It seems now on the second half, with the first room being Games and Aviator, it looks like, yep, they are going to have an Echo. Damage did 6 pick off from the Maestro off onto the dock. Very smart play, especially in this new meta now, where when you only reset, you get 20 health. So to have that dock on the board is going to be useful for later on in the rounds. What I'm more interested in seeing, though, is how they use this Echo. DBX didn't really use him to the fullest ability on their last defense. No disrespect to them, but let's see if Loopy's going to try to use it a little more passively. Try to save those Echo drones for later on in the round, and possibly try to hold more angles than try to push with that ACOG.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see any basement plays from the Echo in the first minutes, but I don't know, this is a more, I don't want to say, how would I put it? It's a more logical defensive setup by F6, in my opinion. Like, as we were saying, with that Ecto play, can be huge, especially on your defenses on Villa. Again, defender sided. I mean, the round count doesn't really show that right now, but, you know, for the most part, defensive sided. But, yeah, that Ecto pick, it's just nice to see. I feel that DBX were shooting themselves in the foot and not bringing it for more than a single round on their defenses.
And it looks like with a 5-man spawn from Fountain, they're going to be pushing off on the master bedroom. Tyrant and Bacon trying to, oh, and Flix as well are going to be on that roam game trying to make their way upstairs to hold off that pressure. Yangs do go out, but is not going to connect with anybody. Huge waste of utility. Off onto that Candela. Tostada is going to try to push up now.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm interested to see how Yin is used now, given her recent changes. And I say that more so because I have not figured out how to properly utilize the Candelas, as appear that Bacon is just doing the dual off on red stairs here.
Ooh, and with the second one, he's going to take down Deathstroke before to take down Tyrant and damage, but Flix will get that refrag off on a Tostada. And now it's going to put them in a 2v3. Low health, however, and with no dock for Bacon, he's going to have to sit with the health that he has.
So
Monkey's going to be pushing his way over towards Flix, and he does meet him, as Monkey's going to get that kill off onto Flix. 2v2. Legion does go out on the red stairs, though. Does figure out at least a little bit of intel onto where they are pushing from. Camera on the 90 as Loopy is going to try to hold this angle from hunting.
she used to call vault hunting.
I do call it hunting. I am sorry.
You're forgiven.
Please.
It's just never heard it before.
Please forgive me, people.
So F6 left worse for wear in terms of health, as Bacon will quickly turn that around into their favor, and with only 15 seconds left and an Echo still on the board, Monkey's going to have to make a play here. Now again, Bacon is left with 1 HP. 5 seconds left. Defenders, Bacon will be down, but Monkey needs to fry it out here. It's very quick here, but Loopy is going to play it safe, and F6 will take their first defense. Came pretty close, good fury of kills back and forth, but ultimately F6 just retaining man advantage for the most part, and it definitely benefited them in that endgame there. Especially with Loopy of all people on your Echo being the last alive. That's the efficiency of an Echo staying alive. Even without using your utility, if your Yokai drones are still available to you, that's just intel fed directly to you by your teammates for the entirety of the round. So well played by F6 there, but a good attempt by DBX nonetheless.
It was looking a little bit more towards DBX, but when Bacon got that headshot off onto Crisis, that just, with 30 seconds left, that just puts you at such a huge disadvantage. But yeah, very smart on Loopy saving his life there and not getting hungry for the frag. As now we are going to be going to Trophy Statuary, excuse me, to try to see how they hold this one as well, with a Pulse being brought onto play. This I do like. Hopefully F6 tries to go for a little bit more vertical, because so far I have not seen a lot of vertical play on these defensive holds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. I haven't seen a buck brought out for the rest of this round, as some banter between F6 and Fear happens in game. But yeah, I haven't seen any buck play this entire game, and with the amount of vertical play that's being missed out on by both sides, it really could be a game changer for DBS in the second half should they choose to bring a buck. And seeing that they're down 2-5 on their attack now, judging on how this round goes, they're going to have to make some form of adaptation here to bring themselves back, because 5-2 split, not even a split, a 5-2 scoreline in your latter half, it's not a good place to be.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to not see the buck being brought on the board or into play. As well as not really seeing a Sledge or even an Ash, really. They do have the Zofia, which I guess is very useful. A lot better for versatility, but did I say that right?
Sure.
I believe I said that right. Yeah, sure. But as Tosada's going to be making his way over towards Bathroom, Flix is going to be the first one to get that vertical kill off onto Deathstroke. I said I wanted to see that vertical play, and I'm so mad that I missed it. Bacon is going to get that second kill off on the Introvert, as Flix is going to get the kill off on the Tostada.
See this?
And in a matter of 30 seconds, it's a 2v5. Damage creeping up against the kill off on the Crisis. And now it's going to be a 1v5. Monkey gets a kill off on the Tyrant. 1v4 with a minute 30 left.
So this is not a situation that you want to be in if you're DBX, especially if you're Monkey here. You're stuck in. You have to ace this round in order to win it, otherwise you don't want match point. Now, given that's a best of 3, there is overtime in play, so match point isn't exactly the end of the world, but it's not a good place to come back from, especially if you're going to be down 4 rounds should you get to match point after this round. But Monkey will collect his second of the round. He does have a minute left to make a play happen and possibly win it out. It will have to be a miracle, but with such little health left, it's gonna have to be a once in a lifetime clutch. However, he does have objectively the best gun in the game to clutch with, so he's got that going for him. But again, he's gonna have to make something happen here quick, as with only 30 seconds left, it's not looking very winnable at this point. And honestly, I'm assuming at this point DBX is probably just using this as almost like a timeout to figure out, what they can fix up for next round, next map, whatever. Because at this point, you know you're not going to come away from this round, so I'd take advantage of the time that was granted to you by your own mistakes, and not even your own mistakes, just the efficiency of F6. And time will just run out. Monkey saving the KD. It's commendable. You got a couple picks, but ultimately it does not matter, as F6 will put themselves now onto match points.
Yeah, going into match point here, it's looking a little bit more towards F6 favor. Not really sure what I can say on that. Again, good to, hopefully they took that time, like as you were saying from last round, hopefully they took that to try to talk out what they were doing, maybe get a little bit more efficient with their drones, maybe, I'm not really sure. What it seems to be coming down with most of the time is just these 1v1 gunfights that, well, F6 seems to be winning, to put it plain and simple. But maybe they'll have a better chance here in Dining Kitchen.
Yeah, the early picks by F6 has been a common theme for this first map anyway, and it's killing DBX, honestly, because they try to go for these executes later on, and it's just they don't have the manpower for it.
Now they make their way over to kitchen. Ella is going to be brought on the board by Bacon. Surprised he's not bringing the LMG, as we've been seeing him play so far in the game. Maybe that was just for an attack, though. It looks like pretty much the same setup on attack by DBX. There will be an Ash, however, being brought in by Tostada.
Wait. Did you just say Ella not bringing the LMG?
No, I was surprised he was bringing Ella instead of bringing an LMG.
Oh, I was gonna say,
sorry, I might cut out
buddy,
there for a second.
you know you're on the wrong side there.
No. Surprised Bacon hadn't been brought in the LMG by the Maestro, or I wouldn't even dare to say Tachenka. A nice play. But
I mean,
no, in
definitely.
all seriousness, that was a very quick play by Tyrant with a nasty run out. And he tries to go for more. It gets very aggressive, and Deathstroke is going to kill his own teammate. Oh my gosh, Deathstroke putting them now in a 2v3. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a very fast play. The run out by, oh my, wow. What a run out by Tyrant. Flick's trying to get the run out by Bathroom, but Deathstroke, unfortunately, killed his own teammate trying to get Tyrant. He did luckily get Flicks, but oh man, what a way to start.
Yeah. That TK is definitely going to be a game changer for DBX in this round, because had that not occurred, we would be in a 3-3 here. or 3v3 rather, as Blitz did not need to hop out the window. Tyrant hopped out, he did his thing, got 2 massive picks early on, but Flitz did not need to be there, is really all I can say. So we could be seeing a 3v3 here, but just unfortunate placement by the members of DBX would result in a T. And 2v3 with just over half the round left. And again, it's just those early picks by F6. Now, granted, DBX, you know, able to refrag maybe a bit too efficiently, given the TK, but this is a better spot to be in than what they found themselves in last rounds, with Monkey being in a 1v5 with 2 minutes left on the board. So hopefully they can make something happen. They do have a minute left, so it's not unwinnable. It's just, what do they say? Not impossible, but improbable. Yeah, that sounds right.
You said that sounds right. Yeah, it looks
sounds
like
right.
Monkey will be the one to drone out Kitchen here, as it looks like they're just going to be playing it safe for the most part. Only person really, I guess, want to say roaming, he's not even roaming, would be Damage. So they're just going to play sight and try to play out time. Not a bad thing to do here. Monkey making his way over towards Library, being followed close behind Deathstroke, who is just... They're just trying to clear out the rest of the building, but with 14 seconds left, they don't really have the time to do that. As shotgun play is going to be brought on the board. Yes, it is. Very easy pick off on the Deathstroke. Makes his way back into sight, and Bacon with the Ella shotgun is going to get that final kill off on the Monkey. And that's it. That's going to be the first map for F6. As we're going to take this now to map 2.
I don't know if I said that Flix was playing the Ella on that last round. I might have, so my apologies for that, but you know, my statements still stand. But very decisive first map by F6 here for map 1. Wow, I just stumbled that really hard. That's okay. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had this power duo of your host Mets and your lovely co-host myself. So, you know, give it a map.
There was, if you didn't notice there, 3 double-digit kills.
Sheesh.
On F6 by Flix, Bacon, and Tyrant.
Yep.
Not something easy to do.
Not something easy to do, but with decisive those rounds were turning out for them, it's not too surprising.
Yes, however, 30 kills spread across 3 people. I did not mean to start that. Is that is a very big play. Coastline is going to be the second map here, which my controller accidentally flicked my jeans. So hopefully they're ready after that match. That was very unfortunate. I did not mean to do that. Okay, well, bands here.
Did you adjust the sides?
I did not, so we will have to do a rehost.
Yeah, so it all works out. Not the most convenient thing to be in, but
it does work out. I will message them now and let them know there is going to be a rehost. Controller.
So for those unaware, for whatever reason, Ubisoft has seen fit to readjust the button layout for how custom games work. So instead of clicking the right thumbstick, which I believe it was before, is now you just have to pull your trigger, which is very easy to accidentally do. So subsequently, you result with things like what you've just seen here. So give the teams a little bit of a breather, whether they wanted it or not, but
F6 was on defend for Coastline, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure. Sending a message off to the players here to let them know that there will be a rehost. And while we are waiting, what do you think the map bans are going to be for Coastline? We talked a little bit on Villa, but do you feel Coastline is as defensive as Villa is? What is your opinion on that?
So Coastline is very much the opposite of Villa, and Coastline is probably one of your most attacker favored maps. Granted, it's not as attacker favored as it once was, because before it was just defense kind of sucked. But I don't know. Coastline used to be in a spot where you have 4 viable sites, but they all are not easy to defend. That's shifted a bit in recent times, but definitely I could see the storyline being a bit more even here, just given the nature of the map. But as far as bans go, I mean, before we had this rehost, you saw the Jackal come out again. I believe that would have been DBX still, but a Jackal is a pretty huge pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Nomad again, as on Villa, I don't feel she's essential because it's just such a huge map, but Coastline, as a defender, you've got 2 ways of access to the second floor, and those can both be cut off with 2 air jobs, and the Nomad will still have 1 to spare. So, Nomad, more or less, is kind of a must ban on Coastline if you know that your opponents are going to be roam heavy, or if your attackers, if you know roam heavy stuff is going to happen, Nomad is your best bet as a defender. But outside of that, I don't know. Any ban really. Could see a Glass possibly. I mean, he's kind of fallen off in pick rate as of late, but the ban to Glass is, or not the ban, the nerf to Glass has not happened yet. So he's still viable in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Really, just same kind of whatever operators for both sides. All things considered. It's funny because Coastline and Villa, they're very different, but they share a lot of similarities, and just how the operator bans can work. Because again, it's that vertical play. I feel, in my opinion, just both maps heavy vertical play. You can access every site from above or below. So a block ban again or a pulse ban would be huge, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And again, with that being said, and especially with how much more well-known a map like Coastline is, I feel like this map's a little bit more on the attacker side. For instance, I don't like Penthouse. I don't feel like that is a defender-sided room at all. So I believe that being taken off of the board, it really only gives you 3 valuable rooms, or sites I should say, to be able to try to stop the attacking team. But again, that vertical play with just so much access. There is maybe only 1, 2, maybe 3 spots where you can't really access the floor or the ceiling above you, the second floor, that wooden floor. And whatever you can't really hide, because you're going to immediately be seen through a huge window, either from the window on Penthouse, window on VIP, the purple tarp leading over to Hookah, and just all sorts of just huge windows to try to, anywhere you were trying to hide that was valuable. But then again, I've been proven wrong before, and maybe I'll be proven wrong again. Maybe F6 will hold this a little bit better on defense. We'll see.
Well, hopefully your accidental rehost hasn't killed momentum for either of these teams. You still wait for
I like
the
to
last.
think of it as a moment of clarity, to be able to think of what they did right, what they did wrong, and how to fix on either.
Yes, and I'm sure that they're both very grateful for you being so courteous as to allow them this moment of clarity, as you've so
Absolutely.
elegantly put it.
Yes.
Just waiting on the
Like
last.
think of this less as a rehost and an opportunity to go over your strats.
Sure. F6 just waiting for their last player, and I believe that is Loopy we're waiting on.
Yes. But yeah, bans for this map. I don't see Mira being a valuable ban because she really is only useful on I wanna say 2 maps or on 2 sites, but she really is only valuable on one, and that is upstairs on Billiards Hookah. Other than that, I don't see Mira being a valuable operator on this map. With the amount of vertical play that there is available to you, as soon as you get those roamers done from either upstairs or down below, as soon as those roamers are taken out, the amount of vertical play you can have on that Mira is just baffling. So I can't really see Mira being a valuable ban. However, I do see a pulse ban being valuable. I also see probably an echo ban as usual, but wouldn't be surprised to see another vigil ban from either team as well.
I don't feel a vigil ban would be that useful on a map like Coastline, just because even the scale of it, it's a lot smaller than Villa. I mean,
Yeah.
vigil bans on like Villa or Bane, those made sense to me, but on a map like Coastline, I just don't see the need for it personally. But I mean,
I think it's less of a just to have, less of a gun or less of a however you want to put it, less of a getting that roamer off, as more as a, I don't want to drone out a room, think it's clear, and then boop, vigil's there.
Matt, I wasn't aware that you droned at all.
I don't actually. I like to run in there blind. It is a very fun strat. You should try it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it seems the first ban going out today is going to be the Thermite ban. Questionable, but not surprising. Jackal is going to be the second ban as well. Very smart play. That is going to be by... Actually, it's going to be by DBX. Taking a Jackal away from themselves, it seems, in the first attacking rounds. The Thermite is... I'm assuming they're going to be using a penthouse hold, not trying to have them open up VIP or just open up any walls outside of 90 hallway. Echo, not a surprising ban there. Again, one of the plan denials being taken off of the board by DBX. Let's see how F6 tries to rebuttal.
So that Thermite ban is a curious decision for me personally, as Coastline's probably one of the least hard breach essential maps, aside from maybe Consulate, as the smoke ban, oddly enough, will be the last one to come out by S6, but Thermite isn't essential on this map. Hard breach in itself usually isn't essential on this map, and if you do bring a hard breacher, it's most likely going to be a Habana, so that's an interesting ban to say the least, but I'm sure F6 has the thought process behind, why they're banning a Thermite with all operators. Actually, I don't know why I worded it like that. Of course, they have a thought process to do it. They're just not random banning hops out here. But
The only thing I could think of, especially for when they're going to kitchen, is I'm assuming that late push, opening up a wall when there's not any roamers left to have to worry about. But other than that, again, not really seeing the valuable decision I'm picking that. That is just me, again. But however, they will be bringing a sledge. I do like that. It's going to be one of the soft breachers being brought on the board. Zofia, very nice for this map as well as the Habana. Not a surprise at all. So let's see how they do this. Maestro is going to be brought on the board, as well as F6 Loopy playing as the Mira. And again, as I don't like Mira on this map, and the reason why is because they always go here. This is the one essential spot to put a Mira, and all you have to do is just go right here in VIP. So if there isn't a huge threat upstairs on Penthouse going towards VIP, or just maybe over here in 90 hallway, trying to distract some of the soft breachers like the Sledge, like the Zofia, bringing in that Mira is just going to backfire so heavily. But then again, that is just my personal opinion. So maybe they'll prove me wrong. It looks like they're going to be leaving. Oh, risky, risky, risky.
I'd say, to go back on your Mira for a second, Mira's useful here, but I'd say it's fair to say that she's figured out on this map, I guess you could say, as, like, for the attackers. everyone knows where your mirror spots are going to be. Everyone knows how to deal with them, but they're not inherently bad to have. It's just, you know, easily countered.
Looks like Tyrant's going to be taking a little bit of damage as he makes his way back off over into Billiards. Bacon is going to be doing a downstairs sunrise blue bar hold. I really do like to see holds like that, as it seems Tyrant now is going to be making his way over to Aquarium, trying to hold that down as he does, again, take damage from upstairs, which I believe was by Tostada, if I'm not mistaken. Stonework is going out here as Crisis is going to get that first pick off onto Loopy. And a refrag by Flix, but Tostada's going to be right there to get that refrag off onto him. Tyrant, again, these back and forth frags, as Tyrant's going to take down Tostada. And now there's going to be only one person left on site with two roamers, one soft close by. Tyrant is going to try to make his way downstairs and camp over on Cool Vibes. Bacon still playing his way over in Sunrise. As Crisis gets a couple of shots over off in the bathroom.
Cover me, reloading.
And does open up that door. So has to play a little bit smarter on cams here. As it seems, Introvert might be AFK on his drone.
No, that's, I would believe, that's a internet. Huh. That is unfortunate for DBX, as Jackie off the board, and man favor will go to F6 now. That's very unfortunate for DBX, but a blessing for F6. As is now down to Monkey, and
Monkey does get that kill off on the Bacon.
So
I mean, Monkey did get the kill off on the Bacon.
So the main count equalized here, and subsequently refragged back into the favor of F6. So it's time getting a kill, and Monkey will fall as well. And F6 take their first round, and I will not be surprised to see an actual rehost this time, as we did have a disconnect from one of the players of DBX. But we will have to wait and see if they want to take advantage of that, which I see no reason why they wouldn't, given that it's playoffs and these are really important games.
Hey, buddy, any more energy and people are going to think we're throwing a party.
Whoa.
I need you to cool it.
Bad.
I don't want you.
Sorry.
I don't want you coming in here bringing in that hype energy.
Bring the hype here for playoffs, baby.
Yeah. Keep bringing in that energy. Keep bringing in that roar. We're gonna make people think that we're at a club here. Okay, this is professional sport. Get your stuff together, sir.
Max, I am having the time of my life co-casting this wonderful playoff game with you.
I hope you are, Skinny, because it seems like DBX is going to decide to play out the match instead of bringing them down to a 4v5. They still have a rehost.
Alright, so I can, in one breath, I can this play by DBX. That was a very ballsy play. But on the other hand, you're in your playoffs. You lost your first map. You're down round differential already. Granted, second round, but you had a lot of things working against you. A 4v5 might not be in your best interest. However, I did see these bucks with it, so a personal thank you from me to you. I've been waiting for 2 maps now to see this, and it's about that we got it. But who knows? Maybe DBX will just frag out here and equalize things. Just clean sweep these next 7 rounds. Who knows?
For those of you who are listening in the chat right now, Skinny is well known for thinking he's good at playing Buck, but in fact is not. So, as we go out here now, it looks like Monkey to Sunrise, possibly, but maybe just trying to bait him out here. A couple shots going off into Billiards, as it looks like Diffuser by Crisis is going to be going over towards VIP. Tostada trying to... Tostada trying to, what I am assuming, is getting up so he can glitch his way... Yup, there it is, onto that tarp, but must have dropped down in the process.
I wasn't even aware that the tarps play was still, you know, possible, but it would appear that the disconnect was due to a power outage on the side of DBX, so that's very unfortunate. Also, I would like to defend myself real quick. I am not known for playing bot well, nor did I ever claim to be, so that is slander on part of Max here, so I do not appreciate that, good sir.
This is true. Nobody thought he was good at Buck. For good reason. As it seems like DBX is going to be playing a little bit more defensively. Only person pushing up here is Deathstroke, who is going to get the first frag, possibly another, and does, as he takes down Tyrant. Bacon is going to be the one to get that first refrag off on the Crisis, and now the man advantage is even. Very powerful play by Deathstroke. Nice two-piece.
Deathstroke making some plays here, however, will be significantly lit up in the process, which is not ideal, but certainly doable. Huh. My apologies for anyone that might have heard that. I disconnected from a Discord call real quick, forgot to mute my mic when I returned to it. So, if you have to hear me 2 times over, my apologies. But, it's all been resolved. We're back in the game. Deathstroke in his third of the round, just fragging out for DBX, and this is the plays I was talking about. You know, who needs man count when you're just fragging out anyway?
Is it going to be enough, though, as 30 seconds are only left on the board? Bacon's going to be playing his way over in South Hallway. Does hear that shot off by Tostada. Grenade does go out. Right there. He does, and Tostada's going to get that kill off onto Bacon. And now it was looking like a 4v5. It's going to be a 1v3. Loopy trying to get these final kills, but Monkey is going to be the one to get that final frag off onto Loopy, and does bring him now to a 1-1. Wow. I was not expecting that.
So, a lot of that round definitely fell onto the shoulders of Deathstroke, really fragging out of his mind for that round, especially with how little HP he had, so props to him, and then to the rest of DBS for just cleaning up.
Yeah, as it looks like, yet again, instead of trying to get the rehost to try to get a little bit of time for their teammate to make that comeback, it seems, or at least at the very least bring in a sub, it seems DBX is yet again just going to be going a 4v5. But again, they won last round with the 4v5, so that boost of momentum might just be what it takes to keep them at a...
Yeah, I would imagine that, as I was going to say before, the 4v5 is a reasonable power outage, so I would imagine that DBS is just waiting for their players to get power back, hopefully, so they don't waste the rehost due to time constraints. So, commendable plays, as we will be going to Penthouse Theater for round 3 here, much to my content, much to your distaste, which, I mean, we all have opinions.
But, I mean, it is smart to be playing this map, considering now that the Thermite is taken off of the board, and Habana is a little bit more noticeable from from the outside on 90 Hallway. But then again, I just don't ever see this site as a valuable option.
Penthouse with the Mira, it's your favorite thing in the world.
It seems like Tostada is yet again going to try to make his way onto that purple tarp, but
I don't know why.
Wondering why. Yeah.
Not the correct site for that. And you know, it's funny. They've been trying to patch purple tarps for years, and it's just keep finding ways. So maybe they've finally done it. Who knows? It's been 2 years now, but
every time one way gets patched, another does come out. Tyrant
just speaks to the intuition of the Siege community. So props to all of you game breakers out there. We love you.
Seems like Shots is going over towards Flix. Flix is going to make his way back off of his health as Deathstroke is going to take down Bacon. Deathstroke is putting in so much work for his team, as I just missed the kill by Tostada. What? What? Tostada seen the head of Flicks decided to make his... I guess he decided to make his way off with his life.
I mean, you've got man advantage. You still got half a round. There's no rush, especially on the sides of Coastline. That is very unfortunate placement by the Vigil, but Monkey is showing to be fragging out with the F2 of Twitch. Best friend to do that with, as we're now in the QB1 here. Damage barely making it off with his life.
In a matter of 30 seconds, he was able to get that 3 pieces. Deathstroke is going to be the last one to clean up that kill off onto damage, and we'll take yet another round. Now they are showing a lot more powerful on attack since they've been in that 4v5. Hopefully they keep that momentum up now that their teammate has returned.
Yeah, but
Back Introvert.
Like I said, Max, you don't need man advantage if you're just fragging out.
Listen.
Gosh.
Listen. I don't want to agree with you because I refuse to believe in agreeing with the likes of you. But as from what we have seen here, it seems to be working out. As much as I hate to say it, throwing strats out and just focusing more on trying to pick off those individual frags has been working out very well for them. F6, a little bit of lack of communication there last round, especially for Tyrant and Flicks. They were not able to really, they didn't really get the call out that that Monkey was pushing up, that he was able to get those, that he was making his way from 90 hallway. So, oh boy.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. Yes, it is. Being as he did get in late, and I'm assuming it came down to a last-second pick that he was unable to change, I am going to allow this so long as the gadget is not used. It has been brought into Pro League. Pro League has allowed them to use Lion, but for the continuation of Season 1 until this season is over, we are not allowed to use Lion. I believe.
Use Lion, but we'll figure this out. Let you figure it out. Actually, no, I can figure it out. You figure out. You focus on the game, X. We'll figure this out.
Flicks is going to be playing over in Office as the first kill off on the Introvert does go out. Tostada is going to get this kill, however. Off on the Flicks. I'm assuming that kill off on the Introvert was to save them the round. Smart play. Very as I try to set this back up here. Tostada is going to be making his way off onto the roof, trying to get a couple of picks, I believe, into sight, as Monkey is going to be droning out Sunrise. I'm more interested to see what Deathstroke does. He has been on a roll these last couple of rounds. Figuring out where Tyrant is, gives the call out to his team. But does he know that he moved? Monkey activating that goo mine does give the intel out to the Legion, letting them know where exactly he is at. As it seems, it is going to be a 4-man hold on site. Christ is trying to get a little bit of cheeky play through the drone hole here, as a couple shots go off on the Monkey. Wasting a little bit of time here in this 4v4. Deathstroke finally trying to get this drone out, as Crisis is yet to make his way into the building. Tostada did, however, make his way in. He's probably going to be pushing up towards bathroom. Minute left, and nobody's really pushing their way up towards site. trying to wait for roamers, not realizing that there's no roamers out there. They're all on site. As Bacon does get that kill off on a Tostada. Holding a very cheeky angle from Kitchen. And now there's only 30 seconds left. Again, they are still waiting for people to push them. Still waiting for this, you know, roam game to come back and bite them, but there's just nobody there. Everybody is on site. And with 18 seconds left, they have got to try to make a push here. Loopy getting the kill off on the Deathstroke. As Monkey and Crisis do get one apiece, but Bacon is going to get that refrag. And in this 1v1 against Bacon, Bacon is going to take it all. And we'll take yet another round. Oh no, their second round, excuse me. For F6, bringing them now to a 2v2.
So.
Seems getting their teammate back did lose a little bit of that momentum.
No, I think more so the line pick just didn't matter there. Ultimately, as we all saw, just one round anyway. But here's what I'm worried about for S6 is they've won 2 defenses and they were both on Kitchen. Kitchen's going to be lost for the rest of their defensive half, and the other 2 rounds that they lost in 45s from the get-go. So that does not bode well for their defense, but maybe they can make something happen with this win. Maybe, I don't know. It's a really strange situation that you lose your 4v5s but win your 5v5s. So I don't know. Maybe the equalized man count will give F6 the push to move forward. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I'm no neuroscientist or anything along those lines. So you know, we'll pretend all those correlate to each other. But hey, you know.
Yes, and it seems that they're playing a little more lax, a little more lenient compared to how they were playing on Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Not really playing too aggressive, as you see. There's a 4-man hold on site. Only thing on DBX's half, the only thing I could have seen them change is maybe not waste so much time trying to hold those last angles. A minute left with everybody on site. They had no idea. They were just still trying to wait for them to push them. Still trying to wait for the plays that they saw on Villa. Not expecting them to, I guess, just hold site as well as they did.
Yeah. My apologies for the neuroscientist comparison. Psychologists would have made a lot more sense, but yes. DBX have contained 2-1 on their last attack. Hopefully they can speed things up, and given that they have equalized man count to do so, wouldn't be surprised to see it happen, as again, F6 not looking super strong on any site not named Kitchen, so maybe they can make something happen here, but if DBS can continue on with how they were in their 4v5s, then we could very easily see a map 3 here, as Deathstroke, seemingly hearing me, will continue on his thirst for blood and the opening pick for his team. And again, that's your Legion going down super early in the round. And Legion, as we know, the longer he's alive, the more powerful he gets. And having him taken off the board super early is a huge bet for DBX.
One of the things I like to notice is every time I cast with you, we get a little bit of a story with each one of our casts. It's a very, very fun experience. Flicks as well is going to be getting the kill off on the monkey. Which is a very nice headshot, taking that switch off on the board. I did miss that kill though, however, Flicks is going to be taking down Introvert. Damage again with the refrag there. Oh, as Introvert just barely misses his damage his head. And Deathstroke's going to be in this 2v1. Down. Must not realize Hatch was what got opened up there.
Esther getting his second of the round. That's the pause taking off the board, so 1 C4 down. I don't know if the C4 was utilized prior, but a minute left for DBS to make a push here, and Man count not in their favor, but if Deathstroke continues playing how he's been, as Crisis outscore would get a kill onto Tyrant, equalizing things for DBX. Deathstroke taking a goodbye here, but this is still very winnable for DBX. Now, Crisis has been lit up substantially, but again, Deathstroke just out for blood right now, so definitely winnable for DBX.
It is. They are going to have to be careful with these picks, though. 20 seconds. Ooh, and Crisis missing quite a bit of shots. If he was holding that angle just a little bit earlier, might have been able to do something better there. Damage was able to get the kill off onto Deathstroke. What a bait by Loopy. As Damage is also going to get that final kill off onto Crisis and takes another round for F6. That's going to bring them now to round 6.
So,
and now, story time with Skinny.
Story time with your boy, Skinny. So, get hold by F6, certainly. Their roam presence was spectacular. However, the roam query subsequently by DBX towards the latter half did make the situation very winnable for them. However, the communication between Loopy and Damage there, and I guess the subsequent bait by Loopy, bringing out both of the attackers from Aquarium for Damage to get the easy picks off to win for F6. Well played by F6 for sure, as they will opt to go to Penthouse for their final defense and subsequently prove me wrong in that they can still win other sites not named Kitchen. So maybe it's just a 4v5. I don't know. Maybe it's some weird circumstance where they just choked with man advantage, which I don't really understand. But again, we'll be doing the Penthouse for our final defense. Again, much to your disdain, but at least one of us is happy.
You know, Adderall Rush used to play 4v5 quite often as well.
Yeah,
very,
they didn't have
bold
a choice.
tactic.
I'd also like to
did
point out that the most of the losses that Adderall Rush took were in those 45s. So hopefully next season they actually have like a full roster for their sake. I would hope, but we'll have to wait and see.
I cannot wait to get to next season as well. Especially with all the teams that we're bringing in, we have so many teams next year. So many teams next season.
Hey man, so many teams, everyone just wants to get on your podcast.
Facing my evil eye.
Is that the secret? Hey, if it keeps them coming, that works. It looks like Flix is going to be playing downstairs in bathroom. No pulse being brought onto the board this time. A little bit different, but oh well. My show's going to be brought onto the board instead. He does get droned out. Now they know Flix is somewhere downstairs. Surprised Crisis isn't trying to push his way up towards VIP and instead working this roam clear instead of Deathstroke, when Deathstroke has been putting in a lot of damage for his team so far. Top fragger on both teams even. So again, surprised he's not the one going for that roaming potential, or at the very least Monkey, but yeah, it seems like not a lot of pressure on VIP.
Second floor.
Flix is going to be making his way around from office over in a blue bar here, possibly trying to make his way to Cool Vibe.
This should be a huge play by Flix, right? Monkey's seeing Flix and will get the kill onto Flix as a result. Just poor positioning by Flix, really not entirely his fault, but that is your bandit off the board. Tyrant will also fall by Sada.
As much as I hate to see him get taken down, I'm very glad I was able to see that angle. It looks like now they're going to be pushing their way off on the theater.
DBX established the map control very quickly. Both GS-G9 operators off the board, so no more full Z-Gemins, but the rest of F6 will remain on site, and they've got a solid line for it. However, Deathstroke on a tear here, picking up 2 huge kills, and we're now in a 1v5 as Plant is also going down. will take damage from the bandit battery, but it's ultimately for nuts. Damage will get 1 kill, but it's subsequently taken out by Monkey. Battle of the IGLs, Monkey coming out on top for that round, and DBX split a half 3-3, very decisively, I should say, in the rounds that they won anyway, but we'll see how teams play out for the second half. Go on.
I'm really liking how much DBX is bringing themselves back compared to how they were playing on Villa. Definitely a lot more back and forth, but you know, again, that being said, they're going to have to try to hold off on defense as well as they did on attack, excuse me.
So, an interesting lineup coming out here by DBX, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, given that... Alright, I'll just put it this way. Vigil, Cav, and Ella, all great roamers, but collectively, that's to no utility for your team. Yeah. So, DBX is going to have to play very frag heavy for this round, but again, given how they've been playing, and Deathstroke especially, I wouldn't be surprised to see it, but I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to be their best pitch, as they will obviously go for their first defense, and we'll see how things play out for them. But yeah, I really don't know how I feel about this lineup.
I only would have changed the Ella over to a Mira, whereas the Mira changed to a Castle. So maybe instead of have, you know, but that's just me. But yeah, again, they've been doing a very frag heavy lineup this entire time. They've been kind of focusing on that more than focusing on an actual, I guess, strategy or more of an official play. They've just been more focused on how can I.
Okay. And I mean, it's definitely doable, but I just feel really my only real, I don't know what to say. My only real dislike for this lineup that they have is the lack of a Jaeger on side for DBX. I feel that a Jaeger could be a huge pick for them, and you know, again, probably swap out the Ella for it, most likely, as she does pass, and Jaeger brings a whole lot more utility, and in my opinion, a much better gun as well. So, I mean, it's all personal preference, but lineup coming out from F6 here will do dividends for them, as Flitz gets 2 huge kills from Blue Bar as the Nomad, and that's has half your own presence gone already, and your Legion off the board with only a minute into the round is going to come back to haunt DBS later on. First air jab coming out, Tostada being hit by that, but no one able to capitalize on it, and that will stay with his life. However, Monkey will not. Intro, or it will refrag, going to see this 3-4, but Plant's already going down, and we're only halfway through this round. Intro taking a lot of damage instead of Puka. Plant is successful, and DBS find themselves in a 2-4 retake with very minimal HP. It's not a situation we'll be in. Tostada will collect 1 on the Flix. However, Intro gets straight out, and Tostada will now need to clutch up and get a 4K, and Future's already halfway down, and F6 will take their first attack very decisively.
Again, baking on that LMG. This man has been proven to use that a little bit more than what I'm used to seeing. I don't usually see people run LMG operators, or if they do run that operator at all, they don't really pick the LMG to go with them, so.
I mean, I understand it in the case of Capital, given that if you look at the stats for both of Capital's weapons, they're literally identical, but the LMG just has a lot more bullets and a objectively better scope. So, you see it a lot on Capital, but yeah, LMG is on a whole definitely, it all comes down to personal preference. Like I harped on before, I don't care for LMGs, but I know some people love them, and that's their choice. However, we will see a different lineup come up by DBS, and speaking of LMGs, the Maestro will come out for this kitchen defense. I feel that that is a much better decision on their part. But again, you're swapping out your castle for your Maestro opposed to this triple threat roam setup that DBX seems to be going for, and again, it's just this lack of Jaeger is really hurting me personally. But I'm not playing in the game, so it's not my problem. But I'm just saying, definitely feel that DBX missing out on some utility here.
Reinforcing the wall.
You and your opinions. We need to
Opinionated
get that
or
under
so
check.
opinionated.
We need to get this. It's getting out of hand. We called the doctor. We can get you the help you need.
I don't have a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
As we push over here off first, it looks like Bacon's gonna be not running the LMG for the first time in 2 maps on attack and be pushing his way over towards Kitchen. As well as, yup, looks like Tyrant and Flix is going to be playing over there. Tyrant has a drone upstairs on Tostada, but Tostada doesn't know.
Tostada, oh. Beautiful play there by Tyrant to take out the of Tostada as elsewhere Flix will take out Monkey. So again, this early man count for F6, or man advantage I should say, it's starting to repeat itself for Villa. They're just getting over the place. DBS will attempt to refrat as Introvert will get the first kill for his team. But you've already lost your 2 operators. Granted, Vigil and Cav, you're not really losing much more than 2 guns, but even then, it's not a good start, especially with only a minute for it to happen. So DBX is definitely gonna have to play a lot more passive for the remainder of this round. Then Introvert will pick up 1, but will be enough. Introvert will pick up 2, and a very beautiful shot. Introvert holding down blue bar with his life, and will subsequently lose his life. So that's all said and done. Destro refracting. Rainin, man, have 2 will take a lot of damage in the process, and it's all up to Destro and Crisis to hold site. They've got a minute left, so time is not inherently on their side just yet. But anything can happen. It's anyone's game at this point.
Tossing EMP grenade.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-man push in the front door, as Damage will be the one to take down Destro, and now it's going to be a 1v2. Crisis does get that first pick. Off onto Flix. Diffuser is down as well, and now there's only 30 seconds left in a 1v1, but Damage is going to get that headshot from behind the bar off onto Crisis. I'm going to have to see this in the replay. I didn't even see how he did this. Oh, barely flicks the head of Crisis and is able to get that final kill.
So
yeah, that was very nice.
That was very, again, back and forth round. Introvert doing a lot of work over in blue bar to definitely stall out the attackers, but towards the very end there, when the remaining members of S6 both push in the kitchen, the Legion of Crisis could have very easily had a double kill there, but just not enough shots landing, and as a result, Damage was taking full advantage of it to win out the round for F6 and to put them up 5-3 on their attacking half. So far, definitely playing into the attacker favoredness of this map. I don't know if I used that word correctly, but I've already said it. Very, we'll say interesting lineup, to put it politely, on the side of F6, bringing both a Blackbeard and a Vinka. So, see what they're able to do with this, along with the Nomad, as, like I said before, 2 stairwells. That's all the access to upstairs. Now, granted, the site is downstairs, as DBS shoots it, go back to kitchen. However, the roam game is definitely going to be a huge issue for DBS with that Nomad in play. But F6 really sticking true to this Blackbeard. So,
you know you can take a breath, right?
No. This is teamwork here, Max.
Do it with me now.
Alright,
There
back
you
in the game.
go.
Let's go. Drones coming out here by Bacon on the Finca. First Finca we've seen for this map. Nice to see. Damage elsewhere. Going to be trying to take control of Sunset. Is it Sunset or Sunrise? I always forget. Oh, the Sun Bar. Sunrise. Sunrise Bar.
It seems like they will be running that LMG by Bacon. Again, not a surprise there whatsoever. But, again, still, I mean, I guess it's a little bit better seeing that now the Vigil is going to be brought into the castle, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. It seems first shots are going to go off by Introvert, as that's going to be Loopy with a refrag, or no, not a refrag, another kill by Monkey off on a Flicks, bringing them now in 2v3, and that's also going to be the diffuser gone clean on the other side of the map.
So I know I was harping on the Ella. No, sorry to cut you off. I know I was harping on the Ella before, but Introvert definitely proving to be a very, very deadly player in the hands of the operator. I definitely messed that up, but you understand what I'm attempting to say here. But however, I still don't agree with the lack of a Gator, given that those frag grenades by Bacon should be crucial for the attack here. Oh,
that's gonna be the first interrogation.
The adrenaline surge came out too late by Bacon. Damage would be interrogated, and that's just unfortunate, really. Ooh, beautiful shot though by Bacon on a refrag, and we found ourselves on a 2v2 here with a minute left into the round. I just called that 2v2. It's actually a 2v4, but hey, numbers are hard. I didn't learn how to count. No, I refuse. I refuse.
You gotta take a breath, buddy. You gotta take a breath. As that looks like Monkey is going to be the one to take down Bacon, and now it's going to be all of the Tyrant to try to take down the remaining 4 of DBX. DBX looking a lot better here now on defense, and he is going to be going 1v1 with Introvert. But is it going to be enough? 20 seconds left on the clock. Introvert's just wasting time putting down this fire here. Tyrant trying to push from a different angle.
Tyrant
10 seconds left.
DBX has to throw up a Tyrant to win this, so it'd be best if one to just save KD or go frag hunting potentially, and he'll be treated with a Blue Mine and a Earthmaw Mine for his troubles, but ultimately not taking up, so saving the KD, I guess, but yeah, DBX pretty decisive on that round. Once a cab interrogation comes out, it's pretty demoralizing for the remainder of the round. So well played by DBX to get their first round on defense, and we will find ourselves in a not a 4v5, a 4v5 scoreline. As it's still leading away with one round. However, much closer game coming out by DBX as opposed to what we saw in Villa. So good on them.
And this round seems to be a lot different here, as DBX is going to be bringing a Mira out, and as well as a Bandit and Jaeger. Not really having seen those, the Maestro being replaced with the Legion, which some might agree, some might disagree. I do believe those Legion mines are very useful, especially towards the later parts of the round. But that LMG, Intel, and Plant Denial is going to be taken off of the board as well. But then again, kind of 50-50.
I don't feel that's a bad choice. I don't think it's a bad choice, just given how effectively Essence is running the Thatcher. So definitely, but I can see the Legion over the Maestro pick, but I'm more so happy to see not only another Madhouse defense, but a Jaeger finally being brought out by DBS here in their 4th defense of the game. So hopefully that utility will be used. Or will be, well, obviously it'll be used, but hopefully it's makes a difference for their defenses here. I don't know about that spot though. There you go, buddy.
Looks like the Mira placement is going to be a little bit see, this spot, what are we doing here? I gotta look at this.
I don't believe that can be shot out. Actually, never mind. That can 100% be shot out from bid window. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Well, maybe, I don't know. The angles of that corner in theater are pretty wonky with the bid window, but oh man.
Drone active.
That was a very quick pick by Flix, as in that cavi off of the board. That's a little bit of a message back by F6 for that interrogation from last round.
Yeah, DBX definitely getting a little bit ahead of themselves, but you know, as we've seen before, they seem to flourish in 4v5, but you know, here's this vertical play that Max loves the hard so much. That's why you don't bring a Mira onto Penthouse Theater, or just don't play Penthouse Theater in general, because if you bring a block, which F6 have thankfully opted to do, that'll happen. And now that entire Mira setup is going to be for naught, as beautiful Maverick play coming out here by Tyrant to put the kill onto Deathstroke, and that is your Legion off the board yet again. Seems like Legion seems to be a death sentence almost, as it seems like every Legion player is the first pick, no matter who they are.
They're pushing extremely hard here onto site as Bacon gets that kill off on the Introvert. Now it's going to be a 2v5. Does see the head of the Maverick, however, is not able to get those kills. Monkey being pushed back as Damage is going to get that kill off on the Crisis. Monkey just runs into the bullets at F6 Damage, sees a whole mess of them, and just isn't able to get more than one kill there as he does get taken down. And now we're going to be on match point.
So I was drawing the comments on how that wasn't a good spot for Monkey to be in, as the hash should very easily be opened up and you're kind of trapped in a corner, but to walk out of the bathroom into 5 people on your site while you're the last defender left, not the most ideal situation. So F6 certainly getting the revenge for the capping interrogation from the round prior, but that will ultimately put them on match point very decisively, I might add. And DBX will opt to go back to Hookah Billiards as Penthouse
deciding to play a Rook.
I mean, at this point, I understand it. They're frag heavy. Rook's never a bad pick. Certainly not a whole lot of utility, but it's impossible. It's almost impossible, I should say, to mess up your one job you have. But I mean, we all know how Rook players can be. So we'll have to see if he sets down the armor or not. Make the rotation.
Well, this is the playoff, so I'd really hope that he does.
No armor going down yet. Oh, you can find a spot for it. There you go. So, Tostada doing his one job. Round of applause for him. And we'll have to see how this Rook plays out for the remainder of the round, as, again, the trade-off with Rook, you know, easy utility, you know, if you die, you probably done your job. But, you know, you've also got this IP5. I don't know what that is. I don't do that. I don't. Why?
We're not here to criticize. Okay.
I'm here to criticize.
No, we're here for.
He did not need to tear down big window just for Monkey to place it back up.
Hey, made it to the playoffs for a reason. We're not here to criticize. We're
you know
only here to commentate the action.
We're here right now. I can criticize tearing down big window for no reason if I want to.
You know who else made it to playoffs? I did.
Yeah, I just said we both did.
Yeah.
So,
but no, all jokes aside, Bacon is going to be pushing his way up over on the Billiards window. As Tostada is going to be taken down very early in the round. With that shield in front of his face, Bacon had a huge advantage off onto him, as now they're going to get sight of that window. And I believe they're pushing downstairs. Yes, Flix and Tyrant are both pushing downstairs into Sunrise. As it looks like Deathstroke's going to be the only one to try to stop them from pushing up Cool Vibe.
I mean, he certainly has the correct weapon to do so. But I don't know if F6 will read into the fact that the Master is playing. Damage does seem aware of it.
I believe they have sort of an idea that someone is over there, but just not really sure as to where or who.
It's a pretty common spot to hold, but FX will seem keen to just fall off it for now and rather go up luggage stairs instead. Not a good choice for them. They have plenty of time to make these mid-round adaptations, as Introvert will be playing all in VIP and trying to contest a Blackbeard, it would seem, on Big Window. Crisis will get the first kill for his team, as Habana taken down, so good pitch. And RB shot central here. Monkey taking some damage from Penthouse Theater. Introvert playing all sorts of a roam game here, as Monkey would put the second kill for his team. However, we'll get... Oh, that's huge. Oh, man.
So, as we're going back and forth trying to figure out who's talking and who isn't, it seems like we're going to have 2 downs over on DBX. Does F6 know that they have 2 members down? As what was a 3v3 is now a 1v3.
Sorry, there's just a lot going on there. It's confusing, but Deathstroke in a glorified 1v3, we should say, but as he's in no position to actually pick up either of his teammates here, and F6, I don't know if they're aware of this or not. 10 seconds left, point is going down. Bacon.
And that will be the final kill by Flicks-Off onto Deathstroke, taking them now to map 2 and... Or no, taking map 2 and the official game for F6. Congratulations. He did it in the princess costume. I love it.
Yeah, who else but Bacon?
Who else but Bacon? Congratulations, F6. They have took that, and they will be advancing further on into the playoffs. Very unfortunate for DBX, but there still is next season to try to make that comeback claim. A lot better. It was a lot better on Coastline than it was on Villa. And in the playoffs, for playoff season, we are not doing interviews after the matches due to the length of the stream. We are not doing the interviews after. We are going to be saving them for podcasts as well as the final match of the pro season. So for now, I just want to give a congratulations to both teams. And F6, we will see you next week.
I believe
guys...
F6 plays Jets next week, so that'll be fun to stumble your words for 3 maps, possibly.
Yeah, of course. Well, with that being said, please make sure to be here tomorrow to watch yet another day of Collective Pro League, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is it NH versus...
The next game should be...
This is very professional.
Our next game
yes,
is
tomorrow.
Oh, that's not the schedule. My apologies. That would have been horrible.
It is going to be tomorrow, Prevail versus NH at 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to be here. That will be hosted by Diamondback, one of the casters of Collective as well. So again, I want to thank everybody here, topping on at 70 views. This has been a very big event for us, and this has been day 2 of the playoff for Collective Pro League. So please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter at collective_esports. Make sure to stay tuned in the Collective family on all the channels that we have in the Discord. And yeah, stay prepared. Next week, F6 is going to be moving on to the next stage. With that being said, I have been your host, Mex. With me today, thank you very much for being here. Skinny, it has been an honor to cast with you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.